Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my latest purchase from Amazon. This is the smart bird feeder from the company Ovibird, Ovibird. As with all my purchases, I like doing these unboxings in case you're sitting out there thinking about buying the item, want to get an idea, what does it look like when it comes in, what's quality like, etc. The box was rather large, as you might imagine, so I pulled everything out. I want to show you everything it comes with, and I'm going to put it together. We'll take a look at it. As always, we'll go look at the app, and then we'll take a look at some bird footage, assuming we get some bird visitors. So, instruction manual, a metal mounting bracket, nice sturdy metal mounting bracket. The thing I liked about this birdhouse is this is one of the few smart bird feeders that was actually wood. Now, the key with that is I'm in an area where I'm using a baffle, so I can keep squirrels, raccoons, stuff like that off of it. If you're somebody who deals with squirrels and raccoons, I probably wouldn't go with wood because they'll usually tear it up, but shouldn't be the case in mine. They give you a perch area that you're going to be mounting here to the bottom. Nice thing about this one is it has a solar panel that will hopefully keep the battery up and running so you don't have to bring it in and charge it. Mounting bracket for your solar panel. The other thing that's pretty cool is the camera comes out. They've got this cable attached to the back of it, but I like these where you can take the camera out. It makes it nice and easy to bring it in and clean it. And then the great thing is you can put this camera really anywhere you want to. If you don't want to use it in the feeder, you want to throw it on your bird bath, use a security camera, throw it on a birdhouse. Nice to take it out and be able to use it in other places. Cloth mounting strap, not sure I'll be using that, but they do give you a nice mounting strap that actually has Velcro on it, which makes it a little bit easier as far as mounting. A metal mesh seed tray to allow for ventilation and cleanup. And then a bunch of different hardware accessories. Most of it's going to be just for putting the perch on. I did want to show you the house. We will take a better look at it whenever I get it set up and outside. Wood seems to be pretty nice quality. Painted top. It has metal fastening feature on the side. You've got a metal bracket here. You've got this screw here that you can turn to lock it into place, and then when you want to open it, simply open the top, pour your seed down the sides. So that's a look at everything. Let me put it together. Let's get it put out. Because there's a little bit more installation involved in this one, or putting it together, I thought I would walk you through it. They give you this mesh seed tray. They have some slots that are cut into the wood. All you're going to do is slide this in. You're going to want to make sure you slide it all the way to the back. If you need to, you might need to push up on it a little bit, but goes in nice and neat. That's step one. So the next step is going to be installing your perch. If you look on the sides here, they have some pre-drilled holes. I don't know what these 4 holes on the side are, but the 2 that we're interested in are these 2 top ones, because those are going to be the ones that are for your perch. Now my perch does not have any holes drilled on the side. What I did though is I noticed that they have some holes over here as well. You can kind of tell the way it's cut. It's got a little bit of an angle, so you're going to want to figure that out, and then you're simply going to slide this perch into place. Pretty simple. Get it lined up. You can be as particular as you want to be. I tend to be pretty picky with this kind of stuff, so I'm going to get it perfectly straight. And then once it's straight, you're going to take the long screws. You get 4 of these long screws and the screwdriver, and we're basically going to take them, put them in the pre-drilled holes on the side here, and screw them into place. Alright, so I finished installing my perch. Now let me say, I'm a pretty handy guy. The screwdriver that they provide, I did not think was very good. I went and got my own screwdriver, and even with me, it did take a little bit of muscle to get those screws in there. If you're buying this for your grandmother or something, it's fine. Just know that you might have to get involved to help with the assembly of it. The next step is going to be putting your windows on. So the windows have an adhesive back. They've got a piece of plastic on here that you can peel off, and then you can simply stick them on the sides. I actually kind of like that because I'm not looking to put up the windows. To me, it's just something else to get dirty or to have to clean. So I'm going to leave it with no windows on the side, but if you wanted to put the windows on there, that would be the next step in the process. Alright, so the next part of the process of assembly is going to be installing the metal bracket on the back. It basically lets you know that you've got some holes that are pre-drilled. Now I'll say this, they are pre-drilled, but they are not very straight at all. So when I line up my bracket, the top looks fine, but if you look at the bottom, it does not match the holes that are pre-drilled. So I might have to bring out my drill and drill my own holes. The other thing is you're going to think you're crazy at first. It is off-centered, but the reason for that is your antenna is going to go in this hole. So the antenna is going to go on the side of the mounting bracket. So don't be alarmed when you see the holes off to the center. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this in. We'll see what it looks like. All right, so at this point we need to put our camera in and we need to connect the antenna. I wanted to mention that this feeder opens up. You basically have a snap. You have some really nice hardware to open it. Put your camera in. I also wanted to show on the camera you've got a mount up top for a trail camera mount or however you want to mount it, as well as on the back. So if you were wanting to use the camera outside of the feeder, there's a couple different places you can mount it. This piece on back here is actually part of your antenna. I misspoke earlier, just thought it was kind of a security cable, but it's actually what you're going to use to connect to your antenna. When we look in the feeder, you've got two holes back there. Hopefully you can see them okay. We're going to put this antenna cable through the bottom hole, and it's actually pre-cut out for that specific feature. So when we put it in there, you will feel it come through. Give me a second, I'll do that. All right, I actually laid it down, made it much easier. Hopefully you can see that okay. But I've got it in that little hole. Let's slide the camera in. And then when you look at the back, you will see your antenna piece sticking through, and now we need to simply connect our antenna. And like I said before, your antenna is going to be alongside of your mounting bracket. All right, so I wanted to show you, here's my old bird feeder, and this one's perfectly fine if you're somebody who can sit at home and watch your bird feeder all day. But when you're somebody like me who's working, this is my new smart feeder. So I like it because it looks nice out on the bird pole. It doesn't look like some crazy science project. It looks almost like a traditional feeder. And I'm going to be taking this one down and using this one. And again, the great thing is I can check my bird feeder from anywhere. It uses the Vico Home app. We will be taking a look at that here in a second. I wanted to show you real quick how I mounted the feeder. I didn't put up the solar panel yet. When I put up my solar panel, it's pretty simple. You've got this hole that's still open on the back here. You're going to run your solar panel cable through there, and then the solar panel actually connects to the top of the camera. So I'm going to just simply open this, plug the solar panel into the top of the camera. But as far as the mounting, now these did not come with the feeder. These are just some cheap clamps you can get at your local hardware store. I simply ran them through the back of the metal bracket and I attached it to my bird pole. So the one thing you'll always get from me in all of my videos is complete honesty. I'll show you one thing that I don't like about this feeder, and that is, look at this seed tray here. So you've got seed that's down here in the front, but there is a big area all the way back there that I just don't see how birds are going to be able to reach in and grab the seed. It does have a little bit of a slope, but because it's a mesh screen, nothing's going to really flow down. So I'm going to push some of the seed back there, but if you fill it down the sides here, I would imagine you're going to have a lot of seed get stuck in the back there and not be able to come to the front of the feeder. Again, might not be an issue, but I wish the seed tray would have come out a little bit further and there'd be less room back here in the back that the birds can't get to. So I did fill up the feeder, let the seed go all the way down. The birds cleaned it out. I wanted to show you what it looks like after the fact. So as expected, there's nothing here in the front. There is some seed in the back, or some shells, I should say, that the birds didn't get, but for the most part, they were able to get to it and clean most of it out. So the seed tray wasn't a horrible deal. I still don't love the design of the seed tray. The other thing I don't like is if you really want to take this mesh out and get it good and clean, you have to take those 4 screws off, take your perch off, then you can slide that mesh out. If not, there's really no way to get in there and clean it other than take a blower or something like that to it. All right, so I thought it would be beneficial to show you the app. The app that this uses is called the Vico Home app. It's a common app. There's security cameras and other feeders that use it. I actually really like this app. Totally free. Now there are some add-ons you can pay for. Everything you're going to be seeing here, I'm using the free version. I have not paid for anything. When you go into the Vico Home app, you're going to see all of your cameras that you've got connected to it. In my case, I've got 2 cameras. I've got my garage camera, which is an old security camera, and then I've got this smart wooden birdhouse that we've been looking at. Up top, you can see your Wi-Fi signal strength, you can see your battery level, and then you can get to things like your alert settings. I can click on this gear icon and go to my settings for my camera. Do I want to adjust my motion detection? Do I want to turn off my alarm notifications? What video quality do I want? All of that stuff, your SD card management. I should also mention I am not running mine with an SD card. I'm using it without an SD card completely. So everything you're seeing here is basically using their free cloud storage. If I wanted to do a live view, I could simply click play and that will connect and show me what's going on at my feeder right now. That's what's going on at my feeder. I could take a still shot. I could start recording video. I could talk through it. So maybe you've got a squirrel sitting on your feeder and you want to scare it off. You could do press to speak and you could try to scare it off. So that's kind of the basics of doing the live view. You'll notice at the bottom it says library. When you go there, you're going to get kind of a calendar view of what you've got sitting in your library. Again, I'm using the cloud storage for this, and I can go to any day and I can scroll through and see, what's been going on at the feeder. You'll notice down at the bottom it says birds. This company does have an AI functionality. If you were paying for that, you could go under the birds and you could see a breakdown of the different birds you've seen. In my case, because I'm not paying for it, I'm going to have to go and manually figure out what the bird is. I always think that's not that big of a deal. In my case, I know the birds in my backyard. If there's some bird that passes through that I don't know, then I'll use a free service like the Merlin Bird ID or something like that to go figure out what that bird was. I mentioned before that I really like the Vico Home app. My favorite feature is that for any given day, you've got this little icon up at the top right. I can choose it and I can select all images and either delete them all, or I can download every image. And the reason that's important for me, and I shouldn't say image, videos, it's important for me because I'll always download them to my phone, and then I use Dropbox or OneDrive, something like that, and I'll save them there so that I can go look at them on my computer versus going through them on my phone. To me, it's a whole lot easier to look at bird images and videos on your computer on a bigger screen than on your cell phone, and this app makes it really easy to do that. There's other companies out there that you have to go like image by image and download it. This one you'll see I just selected the first 20, and that's how fast it is downloading them to my phone. Then all I have to do is open Dropbox, saves it in Dropbox, get on my computer, and then I've got all of the images right there on my computer and I can go through them at that point. I've got them downloaded. Again, I can click select all and delete them. So you can either view them on your phone or they make it really easy for you to get those images, put them on your computer. But that's kind of a quick look at the app. Now I'm going to take some of those raw files and I'll load it so you can see what the video quality looks like. As always, I hope this video helped. If it did, thumbs up or appreciate it. Hope it gives you an idea of how this smart bird feeder works. Thanks for watching.